Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about protection and also fear. Okay. Naturally, being raised in today's society, you most likely were brought up in a very religious home, whether it's Christian or Muslim or whatever else. And ultimately, these religions tell you that dealing with any other spirituality is evil and cause for damnation. And this, for most of us, is beaten into our heads since we are babies, right? Some cases are more extreme than others, but essentially, this type of mindset would be classified under mind control, brainwash, because it's someone else's ideas being forced upon you repetitiously, right? And the seeds of this thought process is burned into your subconscious mind. So when you grow up and get older, no matter what, you've always got these thoughts in the back of your head, right? So enter the age of Aquarius. Here we are. The information is pouring out. You're learning. You find yourself drawn and attracted to things outside of your religion. You come on YouTube. You're finding all these videos, all these lecturers and speakers and books, and you understand it. Right? To some degree, your spirit understands it. You may not get it all the way, but you know that you're in the right place. But every now and then, that old brainwash kicks in, right? And even though you consciously know better, even though consciously you know that there's more to spirituality than the religion that was forced upon you, even though you know better, that old subconscious training kicks back in. Every now and then, at least. Even for somebody like me, I'm not even going to pretend to be Superman, right? I'm not going to pretend that every now and then anxiety doesn't pop up for me, right? Or fear doesn't pop up for me. But the whole thing is, you have to understand what's going on in your mind so that you can confront it and solve it. All right, when you're feeling this fear and this anxiety that you're doing something wrong, right, and you're going to be punished, etc., think about where this is coming from, right? Is the spirit really telling you that you are, breaking the laws, or is that old mind control kicking in? Because that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the construct. To keep you confined in religion, to keep you safe, to keep you predictable. Because when you're dealing with these energies and this power, you don't have to answer to anybody. You're in control, right? And the powers that be don't want to be challenged. So of course, they're going to set up a system so that the masses can be contained and predictable. Even for myself, I find that whenever I attain or discover higher levels of power and of energy, a lot of times when I feel that vibration and that frequency come upon me, it can be a little bit intimidating, right? It'll sometimes cause me to get very anxious, right? And it really sets up the scenario for me to second guess myself, right? And I still feel it from time to time. Today, I made some incredible discoveries dealing with some goetic spirits. I actually was doing a type of exorcism for a friend, and I used the spirit Sabnock to help rid her of this negative entity that's been following her. And when I planned the ritual, I intended for Sabnok to accompany the items that I gave her, and he was to dissolve this negative entity. And I also included the triangle of art, right? Which, the way I think of it, is kind of like Ghostbusters, you know, like that rectangular box that they use to capture the spirit into. That's a lot what I use the triangle of art for. And that is powered by Mikael. And if you really look at this thing, Mikael is kind of like the Judge Dredd type of judge, jury, executioner when it comes to the goetic spirits. Now, in the process of the ritual, when I evoked Sabnok, he tried to convince me to not have the triangle, right? Because typically I don't use the circle or the triangle. I interact with these entities straight up. But doing this for someone else, I put all the safety precautions in place so that nothing would, go haywire. Because, you have to feed the entities. They have to feed on something. So I set it up to where Sabnok would feed on the anxiety caused by this negative spirit, right? So it's temporary because Mikael was to trap this spirit and contain it and imprison it. So once that was happening, the spirit was set to dissolve, and that would end the term, right? That would end the deal. What the hell? Right, that would end the contract, so that Sabnok would be released into the astral realm, right? And Mikael would sort of imprison this spirit, and everything would be good and done. Well, during the evocation, Sabnok was trying his hardest to convince me not to include Mikael. And for a minute, I was thinking, okay, maybe I should do that. But then I realized, well, wait, if I don't include Mikael, who's to say that Sabnok won't continue feeding off of this female's anxiety? And, I would just exacerbate the problem. So you really have to have discernment when dealing with some of these spirits, all right? Most of them, in my experience, have been very cooperative and excellent to work with. But every now and then, you're going to have somebody that's going to try you up. And that's why you have to have protections in place. But yeah, that's just a word of advice if you're doing evocations. If anything does start to go out of hand and you find that you can't control the spirits or what's going on, go to the Archangel Mikael. There is not a spirit that can withstand his authority. So trust and believe when you're dealing with these goetic spirits and things really go haywire, you can count on Mikael to fix the problem. Now, speaking of things like that, I should speak on protection, all right? Just a few things to kind of have around to protect yourself if you are feeling some anxiety or fear caused by spiritual things. Salt is always a good purifier of your surroundings. You can use salt. You can, pour some in your hand, recite a prayer, imagine the light coming down from Kether into your body, into your hand, into the salt. And, you can speak something over it like, I intend for this charged salt to remove all negative entities and vibrations from my space. Sprinkle some at your door, your front and your back door, at the windows and in the corners. That's a good way to dispel residual negative entities. Another good thing to just have around the house is 3 types of incense, right? And most places that you research will correlate with this. Places from Brother Panic's book to, Dion Fortune's book. You want to have yourself some frankincense. And this is just the Walmart variety, so you can get this from anywhere. It doesn't matter. But you get you some frankincense. Get you some myrrh. And also get you some dragon blood. All right, these three things are very positive, vibrating incenses that will help to purify and cleanse your surroundings just every so often, especially if you're dealing with these goetic spirits. Every so often, you want to kind of cleanse the space. Okay, so you can have those three incenses and trust that your environment will kind of remain balanced in that respect. Another good talisman to have is the Magic Square, the Sator Magic Square. I don't know what it's properly called, but you can use this Magic Square to kind of cleanse the area and have it as a talisman to focus on if you're really needing to do some cleansing. Now, what is the square? You can look it up on Google to find out more information. But essentially, this is what it looks like. Sator arepo tenet opera rotas. Now you can recite this over and over as you're drawing the square on paper, cardboard, whatever, and you can use it as a sigil to focus on to cleanse your space. All right? Now what book is this? This is Protection and Reversal Magic by Jason Miller. This is a pretty damn good book about spiritually protecting yourself. All right. Another one is from my absolute favorite author on the occult, Dion Fortune. It's called Psychic Self-Defense. All right. Now she gets really detailed and really literal in her writings. Some pretty heavy stuff, but she gets to the point. She clarifies it to the letter. You won't be confused after reading that book. But if this is a big issue for you, if your spiritual guides are telling you need to invest more energy and time in protecting yourself, those are two great books that'll teach you. It's not filled with fluff and filler. It gets right to the point. All right. If that's a big thing for you, go to those books. All right. And also understand that your mental vibration affects things. All right. Fear. I read something on Instagram the other day. Fear can mean one of two things. Right? It can mean forget everything and run, or it can mean face everything and rise. It's your choice on what you do. Now, like I said, every now and then, when I'm dealing with some of these spirits that I haven't dealt with before, I've got an undertaking that I'm going to be doing soon, and when I really started to communicate with these spirits and plan this ritual out, I kind of started feeling this anxiety, like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this is a little bit too much, right? Maybe I'm not ready for this. But you got to understand, when it comes to that decision, you make a choice. You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise, right? I have the tools, I have the knowledge, the information, and the confidence to do this. So, no, this isn't too much, right? No, this isn't incorrect. I'm gonna do this. I'm prepared for it, and I'm ready to reach the next level. So fear is not going to deter me, and it shouldn't deter you from your purpose. Fear is natural. What isn't natural is giving up and running away. All right? Have confidence in yourself. For real. All of this is based on confidence. That's how you ascend. That's how you rise. You're going to be faced with the challenge of what to do next. And you're going to feel it in your gut. But you got to decide what you're going to do next. Do you really want this? If so, step up to your power. Go. Do it. Have confidence. Right? Don't worry and don't dwell on the negative. Don't dwell on, oh, what if this happens? No. You wanted to take upon this undertaking for a reason. Right? So go ahead and do it. Do it. Because if you dance around with fear and play with it and try to think on it, you're just going to waste your time. Right? You're going to find an excuse to not do it. All right? This game is all about moving up the ladder. All right? You're going to face gatekeepers at every turn, at every rung of the ladder. You're going to face gatekeepers. It's just like a video game. You got to fight the boss at the end of every level. And when you do, you gain new powers, new experience, access to higher levels. Because all that these gatekeepers are they're there to test you. They're teachers. And the fear is to really keep those who are unprepared out of the power. Okay? If you're scared, you're not ready. Let me rephrase that. If you buy into the fear, you're not ready. But if you have confidence in yourself, you take it upon yourself to overcome, and you move forward, you're going to earn the reward that you're seeking. So that's my message to you. Do what you need to do to feel safe and protected, right? You can use these outside things, right? But understand that it's all coming from within, because there's going to come a time where you won't have outside things to rely upon. Just your heart, confidence, strength, right? Be sure, be certain. Be certain. This right here is for the certain, right? This is the doers. We are the doers. We're not armchair occultists. We don't just collect books and theorize. We are scientists. This is the laboratory. We test it. We test the spirits. We see what happens, right? This is what we do. This is our sport. We're the athletes. And this is the way of the future. The things that we are doing right now in this group, in the Magus society, in the occult world period, we're paving the way for future generations. This world will be better than what it is right now. And it's up to us to achieve new perspectives, right? To test and prove new perspectives, to open the minds of those that are going to come after us. All right, this is our original science, thousands of years ago. And we deteriorated and fell, and now we're rising back up to bring this reality and transform it into what it was intended to be transformed into, heaven on earth. So that's my speech. That's my spiel for tonight. Of course, like this video and subscribe if you gained anything beneficial from it. Please leave a comment on your experiences. You know what I'm saying? If you felt fear and anxiety, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment about how you overcame it, because that might help somebody else. Of course, join the Facebook group, the Magus Society. We've got tons of people in there sharing their experiences, sharing knowledge of all types. It's a welcoming environment. Go ahead and join. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys. I really do. This is excellent. I really feel that this is my purpose, sharing this information that I've learned along the way. And it makes me happy that there's so many people out there who are seeking and actually taking hold and utilizing this information. This is awesome, right? We're all part of something magnificent, wonderful, and great. So yeah, my appreciation and respect to all of you. But once again, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, and I wish you peace.